Hello, welcome to Good Questions, Good Answer. Today we have another interesting question from our audience. Oh, Venerable Sander, can you hear me?
Hello, greetings.
Oh, sadhu,
I'm
sadhu. All
I'm
right,
now joining this program from abroad.
all right.
So now actually in the Netherlands. This is rather interesting. Now quarantined at home at our temple.
I see.
So just so nobody really is going out here that much. We are in the middle of Europe now.
I see.
So it's quite empty in the village. But
I hope you're all doing okay over there and enjoy your
yes,
quarantine time. All right.
yeah, just a safety precaution.
Okay. So by the way, now since you are in quarantine, there are many people also at the same time locked down themselves, cannot go out, and I think you are just the same as well. However,
Yeah, it's
is
not that
there
exceptional. Many people that are elderly people, they just don't go out anymore.
Mhm.
But the young people do go out to shopping for some basic things.
I see. So to
So
be
you find
cautious.
that sometimes when you look outside the window, you can see that. And the reason I'm not going out is because I've come from abroad, come from Thailand, so that's why I don't want to take any chances.
I see. Well, it's all right. However, since it's like this, can you tell us the secret recipe? How can recipe? My bad. How can you tell us how can we cope our life in the quarantine time and also practice meditation at the same time?
Yeah, this topic that you mentioned is very interesting because we talked about it before. I think when I was still in Thailand,
Okay.
and I think it's very interesting because the opportunity that the Corona crisis now gives us, because it's actually goes very well hand in hand with staying in quarantine. So it's actually quite good, and it also, of course, meditation gives us the inner strength and health. Gives us improved immune system to deal with the illness. So the question, of course, is then how do we start a daily routine?
Exactly. So as a way, since right now, since you are in the quarantine time, maybe you can share a little bit of your wisdom, so that way we can exchange the way we are practiced, so that way people and the audience can also enjoy and try some of this too.
Yes. So when I normally teach about this subject, I of course normally don't teach in this kind of particular situation, but the basics are the same, because when we are at home and we are learning about meditation, it's important that we set up for ourselves a time and a place to meditate. Is when you are integrating meditation into your daily life, you're going to need you have the 6 suitables. So the first one is to have the right place to meditate. Actually, this is the most important point. What we can now learn is how to meditate at home. And now, of course, many people have children at home and all that, but if we make some adjustments, it's certainly possible.
Yes.
So if you have a separate room, this is the best.
Okay.
But if we have a corner in our home, in our sleeping room, or in our dining room, which is suitable, in which we have a mat and we have some pictures or some other things that remind us of meditation, that will be most suitable. So that is the first one.
I see. Okay. Wow, that's quite long. Maybe can you tell us one more little thing? You see, when there are suitable place to help you meditate. However, sometimes when people are stay locked down or shut in for a long time, sometimes they feel lonely, or maybe it causing to make them thinking too much, worry about the future and things. Well, this could also affect the mind. And so, in here, don't you feel like maybe you should explain a little bit about how can we help them get overcome this? Maybe just a little tip in your beside these 6 amenable place, or I mean 6 suitable place.
Yes, of course, it's not only about the place you have, but also the way you have to learn to adjust your mind. So we have to understand that in life sometimes, if we want to learn to move forward, and we have to learn to also let go in order to concerns that do not help ourselves forward. And one thing, of course, is to learn to let go in meditation, but the first step we need to do is actually get to meditation. And for that, it's important that we make it very accessible and easy to meditate for ourselves. There is also the right working place, which right now is usually the same as the place at home. Then there is the importance of finding the right people to associate with. So the people around you are also affecting you in meditation.
Okay.
And then there is the conversations we have with them. This is all affecting how you meditate and how you can meditate in your daily life. If you are talking about gossiping all day long and you want to try to meditate, and your mind will wander a lot. And then the last 3, there's actually 7. I remembered it. I remembered incorrectly.
Okay.
So there is the right atmosphere, right weather, there is right food.
Yes.
And the last one is right exercise. Yeah, these are all the things that help us to integrate meditation into your daily life.
I see.
You know, you have to take care of it a bit. I mean, what things are we going to use in our daily life to help us to build this habit of meditating every day? And when you build up a habit, the thing is that you need to realize that there's 2 ways to go at this. First of all, you set a time clearly. I'm going to meditate every day in the morning.
Yeah, you have to make commitment. Okay. Yes.
Right. That requires commitment to a fixed time. For example, I'm meditating every day at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning if you are more ascetic style. Or if you are saying, well, I meditate after I bring my children to bed at 9 in the evening, 8 in the evening, is also possible. Some people meditate after lunch, but that's mostly for people who have a big job. So those are all the cases in which we can set a time. However, some people, they work in shifts, blue-collar workers. If you are working in a factory, something like that, then in that case, sometimes the best way to meditate is simply to first start meditation and then do everything else afterwards.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. Yes.
Yes, some people cannot set a time because their life is not like that.
So we have to be a little bit enforcing a little bit into our routine, so that way they can do the actual practice rather than just let them choose whenever they want.
Right. Now the good thing about meditation is once we have made the first effort to meditate in our daily life on a daily basis, then meditation starts to take care of us. And eventually we want to meditate every day. We do not feel it requires a lot of effort. Sometimes we may have to get back into it. But we have the feeling that we do not want to go without meditation every day.
Right.
So normally when the first beginning is the most difficult start if you are not in the habit yet of meditating. Okay. But once you have built up the habit itself will continue itself, and it will help you.
All right. So this sounds like a good technique that can be applied. Therefore, these are the 7 suitable things that we need to apply meditation into our COVID-19 lockdown. Thank you very much, Sandal. These are very good and very valuable for many people around the world who are looking for opportunity to practice meditation and to kill their time or to adjust themselves with the situation, because some people are having a lot of thoughts, a lot of worries. This is also another practice that they can try. Also can be a replacement for watching movie or doing some hobby alone. So therefore, these are
Right.
another alternative, right? So everyone,
Don't binge watch, binge meditate.
yes. If you can meditate or watch, you can switch them around so that way you have another alternative to go on. But don't give up, everyone. We still have to fight this together. And Venerable Sunday, would you like to leave anything to our audience before we end the program?
Yeah, I think it just is this entire session is also a reminder for me. I think that when we are locked at home and the lack of stimuli are sometimes it prevents us from leading a life as we have led before. So right now this is a challenge, but it also gives us the opportunity to really reflect on ourselves and to build up good new habits.
So this is a good opportunity to fill that in. Well, this seems like a good alternative choice. So if you're interested, you can try like what the Venerable Sandal has suggested. However, we just got another question that's coming in to fill it in before we end. Well, if we get bored, how can we curing these things? Because I got that too. So maybe we can see in your perspective, how can we get rid of boredom while we're staying home, not do anything or beside meditation?
But when we are bored, sometimes this is because we are used to a lot of stimuli around us. We are used to having a lot of things happening in our lives, and now we have lost some of that. So we need to give ourselves some time to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be a good opportunity to find some of the excitement and sensation not outside of us, but to look for inside, for inner strength. And once we are, the nature of our mind is that it wanders all the time and tries to find fulfillment outside,
Yes.
which never succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
So our mind jumps from back to here and there.
Just like a monkey,
time.
huh?
Right, like the monkey mind. What we often say, the monkey mind. But the thing is that when we are learning in meditation to be in the here and now, this in itself gives us some fulfillment, and it will help us for the need or the appetite for for some stimuli, for outer impressions, for sense impressions all the time, that becomes much less because we found inner fulfillment. It doesn't mean that we become apathic or become like a person without any feelings. It just means that we are more fulfilled from more deeper and inner fulfillment.
So in other words, there are many things that we can do outside, but also we can also try another interesting way, like we just suggest, right? In practice of meditation, and there are many interesting awaiting for us. Maybe we should give it another chance. I mean, we give it a chance to try, practice, and find more excitement inside.
Right, exactly.
So well, thank you very much for clearing just what we need, how to get rid of the boredom that many people has a lot at this time. So, well, hopefully you can join us again next time, everyone, and see you again in next question. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
To